So my grandson is going to have his 6th birthday party tomorrow, and it's a Minecraft party. So I was commissioned to make his ice cream cake to look like the creeper. So if you don't know what the creeper looks like, so I'm going to start off tonight. I'm completely running on fumes at this point. So I'm just going to bake my white cake. I'm going to put it in this little tin so that I can leave it at their house. And so I'm putting together a white cake mix, and then I'll show you the next step as soon as this is baked. So it is the next day and my cake is all cooled. It's been in the freeze. Actually, it's been up on the stovetop all night, just, cooling off. And so all I'm going to do now is just separate the cake into 2 pieces so I can put an ice cream layer between them. And it'll become apparent very quickly that Grandma is not a professional cake decorator. So before heading back to bed, I have separated in some form those 2 cake pieces, and I put a layer of ice cream sandwiches down, and then I also put a layer of chocolate ice cream. Now that ice cream I actually stuck in the microwave, and I was able to, get that soft enough that I could spread it, knowing that I would have like 4 or 5 hours this morning after this was done, that I could, put this back in the freezer and let it reset up. So all I'm doing now is just mixing some green food coloring with just some basic store frosting. And I'm just going to put some frosting on the cake. I also want to get this as flat as possible, and I want this frosting to kind of set up as well. So it's going to sit in the freezer for about 3 hours before I start decorating it. And because it does have ice cream in the center of it, I actually am going to have to take it out in several different times just to get the decorating done so the ice cream doesn't melt. So as you can see, I'm just finishing up the little bit of frosting that I have around the edges. I am going to put a little whipped cream around the edges as well. So I have been working on some ideas for this creeper character from Minecraft for this cake, and I think I came up with an idea. So if you've never seen the creeper, this is him. So I decided this paper here it's an 8.5 by 11, and it's just about the size of my cake. I actually bought one of those silver pans from the Dollar Tree. And what I'm gonna do, I got this fondant that's kind of pre-rolled at Michael's yesterday. And I got green and I got black. And so I think what I'm going to do is roll it out. I'm going to cut these little squares just like they are on here. I'm just going to measure them out, see how many I need. I'm going to do the same thing with the black. And then I'm going to write with some black. I have some of those little tips that I can write frosting with. So I'm going to write a little note about Minecraft and probably some kind of a little design around the cake with one of those decorating tips. This is my plan. I don't know. There's 0 instructions on the back of this fondant. And I'll be honest with you, I have never used it. I have no idea how to use fondant. So this will be interesting. This is what you get when you have Grandma making a ice cream cake that's supposed to be like Dairy Queen. It's going to be like Grandma. So anyway, let me start measuring this face. This is exactly how I want it to look on the cake. And then we'll get started putting it together. My cake has been sitting out in the freezer now for 3 hours, so I think it's probably pretty well frozen. I want to get the topping on and let the whole thing sit for a good another couple hours. Our party's at 2 o'clock, so I'm going to have to transport it, but it's going to go into another freezer, and Anyway, this is all exhausting for me. I don't know why, but you know, it's just a cake for a kid's party. I don't know why this is such a big deal, but it is. So let me start working on these, and I'm not going to talk through it. I'll just let you see my brain working or scattering or something. Oh. Okay, I'm going to talk a little. I thought this was all rolled out. It's just a big clump. So I don't know. I guess I'll just roll it and see what happens. All right. It smells good. All right, so I'm going to start rolling this and see what I come up with. We're going to figure it out together. I think this is a good plan, actually, for this fondant. I think this was a good way to do it. It's just the right color. All right, I'm just going to start rolling out this fondant and see what I get. All right, so what I'm going to do, just to make this easy for myself, I have these little molds with all kinds of little squares. And these are just about the size I need. Oh my gosh, I've gotten so lucky. I'm going to start putting this little guy together first. I'll get another one of these, and that way I can kind of see how he's going to look. That's how he's going to look. All right, I'm going to start putting my little Minecraft character together. To make our black frosting to put an edge around our cake and also to write our little note from the creeper. So I've got a couple of cups of powdered sugar. I'm going to put some softened butter in here. I realize I just don't have any more butter. Thank goodness I had this. Gosh. I'm going to put a little bit of this black food coloring in. And I'm going to hold off on the half and half. I want to see how much of this. I don't want it thick. I'm sorry, I don't want it thin. I want it very thick when I'm being able to write his name and everything. Gorgeous. All right, it's time to do our writing here. This is the hardest part for me because I have really bad arthritis. So it's like, ay, ay, ay. All right, now we're gonna put a little design to go around the cake and we're gonna call it done. All right, here we go on kind of this little ribbon. Okay, I think that looks pretty good actually. I was gonna do a little thing to go around it, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna leave good enough alone. I've actually got a lot of this all over my hands, so I'm not quite sure what I did wrong. And this is how my little cake came out. So I'm gonna put this cake back out in the freezer. I'm not gonna put a lid on it till some of this frosting freezes up a little bit, but I'm happy with it. It's perfect. It does look like the creeper. So we're good to go. So thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give these things a try. What the heck? What's the worst that could happen? Your cake looks like a disaster for your grandson's birthday party. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure it'll come out fine. So if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my video. Give me a like, a thumbs up, or ring the bell for future notifications, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.